Oh my God. Hi. Hello. This is so fun. I've never done like solo reading sprints, having my main character moment. Um, I don't know. I wanted to just like be live and hang out and do the reading sprint thing. I may also do some video game things and I want to catch up with everyone. So tell me what you're reading, what you're doing, how your day's going. Let's just, it's sleepover vibes. Sleepover vibes. Rachel commented this like 12 hours ago, but I love the enthusiasm. We love to see it. Gotta love a mid-week sprint. 100% agree. I felt like last summer and last fall, everyone all the time was doing like reading sprints, and I never had any trouble finding people doing sprints. And I always love watching reading sprints. Um, and just in the last few months, I've been like, where did they all go? Like I want those like productivity, like reading sprints with like a pinch of social time. And then I finally realized like this week, oh, I could just do that and like provide that for myself. Hello, good to see you. How are you? Currently working on Dead Silence, and so far it's given me all the Titanic meets Event Horizon vibes that I was looking for. Love it. That is so specific, and I'm so happy for you. Okay. Sunday just finished her dinner. I tried to trick her and like start talking to the webcam before I actually went live because we know that she does this where she just like eats her breakfast. I don't know how she knows, but she knows. She eats her breakfast as soon as I start either recording a video or like live streaming. And it worked. I tricked her. She's smart, but she is still a dog, I guess. So that's the new plan. Hello, Jenna. Going to be making a dent in the disc world. Please tell me where to start in Discworld because I want to. I'm just intimidated, which I know everyone says about Discworld, but like same, same. And I'm intrigued. Just finished Hot Girl Book Club pick and now starting the Dragon Republic. Good for you. I haven't finished it yet. And I texted Jayla yesterday. I texted Jayla yesterday and was like, hey, what time works for you? Because originally, like, this is the first Wednesday of the month. So today would be like the live stream date for Hot Girl Book Club. I said, hey, what time works for you for the live show? Low key hoping that she would say next week works better. Because I also said, or we could do next week. Because I hadn't even finished the book yet. So it worked out. And we're doing Hot Girl Book Club for Shallow Waters next Wednesday. But yes, did you like it, Brooke? I'm interested to know your thoughts because I think you've kept up on all of the book club picks so far, which is amazing. And I would love to know your thoughts. I'm reading Comfort Me with Apples. Super weird, but very intrigued. That's exactly what I've heard across the board. And I'm very intrigued as a result. I don't know, like I usually like weird books, but I don't like horror. So tell me if you feel like it's horror vibes or if it's just like weird vibes because I'm all good with weird, but if it's like scary, that might not be my thing. Otherwise, I may have to pick that up. I feel like it's really short too, is what I've seen. I'm just going in publication order. Okay. So am I overcomplicating it? Maybe I just need to like just do the damn thing and like start Discworld and not make it so complicated in my brain. Because I'm really good at that. Not reading and not sure how long I'll be on, but wanted to pop on. Well, hello. Thank you for popping on. I'm kind of in a similar boat. I think I'm going to listen to an audiobook and maybe play a game. But I have to pick what audiobook and what game. So I'm doubling up on the decisions, which is great. Just got off work and starting the second book of To Paradise. What is To Paradise? Am I living under a rock? To Paradise book. Oh, that's the new Hanya Yanagihara. Okay. Okay. Wait, is it more than one book, or like is the book broken up into like books? Because that sometimes they do that. I have yet to read Hanya Yanagihara, and I'm scared. I don't know if I need to do that to myself. But I know this is like classic sad girl author books. Just finished Kindred, and now my hold for Kingdom of Flesh and Fire came in. So stoked to see we're doing sprints. Amazing. I also have yet to read either of those, actually. I think I want to read the Kindred graphic novel version, but also Kingdom of Flesh and Fire. I have not read anything from that series still. My Pratchett obsessed boyfriend told me pub order is the way to go, because I was also overthinking everything. Okay, great. You have solved a lot of problems for me. It's very good to know. Comfort Me is more suspenseful and weird and less horror. I think you'd be fine. Oh my God. Again, I'm building things up in my brain. That's really good to know. A lot of like people that I trust that have read this have said it was like a really fun wild ride, which I think I'm down for a fun wild ride. To Paradise is 3 books within a book. Gotcha. I feel like it's long. I know A Little Life was super long, so I'm assuming that To Paradise is the same. I love the premise. Oh, this is for Shallow Waters. I love the premise, but I gave it 3 stars because it felt very YA. Oh, and it wasn't supposed to be. It didn't get into the story characters enough. Still enjoyed it though. Interesting. I'm like very intrigued to see what I think, because it seems like it's really short for what the premise is and like what it wants to cover. But we will see. The first is alternate timeline. Oh. Why are you making me want to read this now? This was so not anywhere on my radar, To Paradise. And now I love an alternate timeline, time jump, sad girl book. That actually sounds kind of good. I recently finished Reminders of Him, and now I cannot get into a new book. Major book hangover going on. I feel you. February was not the most fantastic reading month for me. And not that I even had like a book hangover. What was the last book that I really like read? Oh, I read Black Girls Must Die Exhausted, but it didn't put me in like a book hangover. It just was like somehow like 3 weeks went by and I didn't read anything. So not the same as you, Jenna, but I'm so sorry about your book hangover. Comfort Me with Apples feels pretty feminist too, which I think you'd like. You do know me. I do love those feminist vibes all the time. Always. Agree on Shallow Waters. It suffered from trying to fit too much into too short of a space that needed 100 more pages to cover all the ground they were trying to cover. That's what I'm nervous about, is that when I see books so small that want to do such big things, it's like who was stopping you? Who was stopping you from like another 100 pages? But we'll see. I don't know. I'm very excited to hear Jayla's thoughts about it too. I feel like she's gonna, however she feels, we're gonna get all of it. I don't think she's gonna hold anything back. To Paradise is 720 pages, but thinking of it as 3 shorter books makes it less daunting. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that makes plenty of sense. Do you count it? Could you count it as like 3 books in your reading tracking, or is that pushing it? I don't know. There's no rules, right? Like you could do whatever you want to do. I wish it was longer, more developed. Okay. I think it was the author's debut, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm wondering if it just was a case of like a very debut-y kind of a book. February was a completely inactive reading month for me. Oh my God. Okay, great. At least we're all in it together. We're 10 minutes into the stream and I'm feeling very validated already. This has so much potential. It just didn't get there. All right. That's a bummer, but excited nonetheless. So close, but yet kind of far. That's like the fact that you gave it 3 stars is like, I always say that my 3-star ratings, also my 2-star ratings, is like, I'm not mad, I'm just disappointed. Where like we were all rooting for you. It could have been so good. So this is making me nervous. But yeah, like it could have been so good. Maybe it needed another 50 pages or so. I don't know. We'll see. Hi, Joan. How are you? What are you reading? What's going on in your life? Tell me everything. Or, the normal amount of things to tell a stranger on the internet, I guess. Help me decide what to read, because as is classic Noelle, all of my library audiobook holds lapsed over the course of the month when I was just like, I've been in like such a podcast mood. So a lot of February was spent catching up on all my podcasts and lapsing all of my audiobook holds. But now I'm back in an audiobook mood, and I think I only have like 2 or 3 loans available. Okay, these are all so different. I have option number 1 is Utopia Avenue, David Mitchell, which I think I'm like, okay, currently 40% through. It's like a chunk, and it's giving me Daisy Jones and the Six vibes, except British version and not in like the interview style, but it's like about this band called Utopia Avenue and how they formed and all of the band members, and then like inevitably like what happened to the band. But it's also like fictional, but it feels like it's roughly about the Beatles, but not. So that's a thing. Literally, I'm 10 hours into the audiobook and that's only 40% in. Then a completely different vibe that one of my students at the dance studio, like the pole studio that I teach at, recommended me, Austin Land. This doesn't even have the author in the cover. Austin Land, the audiobook. This is a 6-hour audiobook. And she said it's about a young New York woman who never seems to find the right man, perhaps because of her secret obsession with Mr. Darcy. When a wealthy relative bequeaths her a trip to an English resort catering to Austin-obsessed women, Jane's fantasies of meeting the perfect Regency-era gentleman suddenly become more real than she could ever have imagined. I think this is also a movie. So we have Austin Land or Utopia Avenue, or what other my other options? I think I also have the second book in the Foundry Side duology, Shorefall. Come on, Libby, work with me here. Oh, no, it's Eat a Peach by David Chang, which is a food memoir by Michelin star chef David Chang of Momofuku, and Ugly Delicious, which Wes and I just started binging Ugly Delicious a couple days ago. Those are the options. Food memoir, fictional British band in the 60s, or fictional resort inspired by women who love Jane Austen. Yes, not mad, just disappointed. Unfortunately, that's like most of my 2 and 3 star books fall into that category. Not mad, just disappointed is the worst. It's what my mom used to say exactly. That's yes. And I feel like as an author, that would hurt just as much to be. I know you're not supposed to like read reviews as authors, but I feel like they all do, like secretly in like incognito tabs or something. And I feel like those are the reviews that would hurt the most. Not the ones where it's like, I hated this book so much for XYZ reason. Just the reviews that are like, I really wanted to like it, but I just didn't quite get there and I'm just disappointed. Like as a writer, I feel like that would hurt me more than people telling me that they just like objectively hated it. All is well here, just tired from work, about to start a book that I got in a book box called Anatomy, and it could be great or awful, who knows. That's kind of fun though, like to go in with like zero expectations. I feel like that's like a very specific like book lover's joy. Austin Land was a movie. Was it one of those things where it was a movie first, do you know, and then a book? Because it feels like the audiobook cover, again, like literally I don't know nothing, don't know anything. I know nothing about it except that my student was like, you should read this. And I said, okay, done. I DNF'd to Peach because he was coming off a bit douchey. Okay, he is like kind of douchey in Ugly Delicious, but I don't mind it. At least I don't mind it in like the documentary series, because you're actually like seeing him talk and like interact with other people. But I could see how that would come off like rub you the wrong way in a memoir, because there are certain times where it's like, okay, like must be nice to like be this big time chef. What's the food memoir called again? It's called Eat a Peach. Where did my loan go? By David Chang. Dave Chang. David. I own the physical copy too, but for some reason I do this thing where I like to own the physical copy, but I most likely will listen to the audiobook. You cannot see that at all. Yeah, Eat a Peach. I'd rather be mad at a story than feel like I wasted my time. You know, that's true too. Like, yeah, at least then you have something to rant about and have some emotion about, even if it's not like good emotion. Like feeling lukewarm about a book, that's what puts me in like a book hangover. Because if I hate it, then that's fine. I'll rant about it. I'll get all my feelings out. And then I feel like that was like a release and I'm like ready for the next thing. But if I feel lukewarm about a book, you're so right. Then it's like, will I ever like anything ever again? Do I even like to read? Are all books going to feel like this now? I'll like start spiraling. Hi, Jess. Happy to see your face. You're so sweet. Thank you for being here. Book 07, movie 13. Okay, so it was a book first. For some reason, they just have the weird like movie poster book cover. Why are we still doing that? Does anyone buy those? Is that just a grand marketing scheme that didn't die 15 years ago when it should have? Like, why are we still making movie poster book covers? This is something I'm apparently very passionate about. Keep making progress in Bandland. That's probably the smart option, because I'll probably make another like 20% chunk out of it, and then the loan will lapse again and the cycle will continue. But it is like a chunk. It's like almost 30 hours in total. So I might make another little dent in that one. Like Anthony Bourdain douchey, because I loved him and he could totally be an ass. I'd say like less douchey, maybe like less douchey and a little bit more bougie. Like David Chang really wants people not to see him as pretentious, so much so that it like comes back around and it still feels like a little bit pretentious. But I feel like it's an endearing way, because he'll like just go on and on about how like there's no such thing as authenticity and there shouldn't be this like hierarchy in food, while meanwhile he is this like Michelin star chef with like dozens of locations of his star restaurant. You might like him if you like the Anthony Bourdain like douche level. I was mad after reading Survive the Night, but I wasn't bored. Yeah, that's a very specific reaction also that I'm all too familiar with. No one wants movie or TV tie-in book covers. Like, exactly. What petition do I need to sign? I think the marketing people think the movie poster book covers will entice the non-readers to buy the book. You're probably right. That's why we pay you the big bucks, Jess. I think that's probably right on the money. I get so mad when I buy a book on Thrift Books and they send me the movie one, even though I ordered a different edition. That happens? Damn. I think the only time that I have used Thrift Books is to buy the old covers of the Lux series, which are like 2010s, maybe earlier, of these like books. They're like a black background with like a gold foiled script of the titles and these like girls in these big ball gown dresses on the covers. They're stunning. They're dated, but like still stunning. And what they changed the covers to is a sin, and whoever designed them has something else coming to them. There's no reason that they should have changed those covers to what they did. And I lost my original covers with like of that series with the beautiful like dress covers. So I had to go through Thrift Books, and they sent me the correct covers, but they sent me like library versions. So I had to painstakingly like peel off the library binding and like scrape off all the stickers. It was like a whole process. So I'm a little bit gun shy on Thrift Books now, especially like reading this also. Hi, Deja. How's work? Where are you at work at 11 p.m. your time, you silly goose? Living that college life? Someone's paying me the big bucks. Who do I speak to cash out? I don't know. When you figure it out, let me know. They've done it for Beautiful Boy, White Oleander, and Dark Places 3 times. Was it all like different sellers on Thrift Books? That is wild. That must be like the secret Thrift Books hustle is to like catfish you into buying like the pretty cover and then sending like the ugly TV movie cover. I thought you were talking about the Lux series by Jennifer Armentrout, which is YA alien cheesy romance. Funny story. That is not what you'd expect from me. However, back in OG BookTube, like 2014 BookTube, was like when that series was popular, and I own that. I might have gotten rid of it. If I used to own it, it may or may not still be somewhere in my parents' house, because 2014 Noelle was very susceptible to FOMO. She's still susceptible to FOMO, but at least now we're self-aware about it. But I don't think I ever read it. I just like bought it because everyone said that was like the cool hot thing of the time. But yeah, I'm also familiar with cheesy YA alien romance. But the Lux series, LUXE, is like YA historical romance, which is also maybe not like a Noelle thing, but very much so a fan of that series. I work at a cafe and we close at 11. I close whenever I work because I'm a slave to capitalism. Aren't we all? You know, cheers to that. For better or for worse. All separate orders. Look at Sunday's little face. This is fun ever since I like switched to streaming over here, because you could just see her making laps and laps and laps. The herding dog really comes out. That's crazy that happened to you 3 separate times. That's wild. I read the first 2 books and I liked them when I was 12, and I still want to continue. Okay, but now are we talking about alien Lux or historical romance Lux? Because either way, I would like to know Deja's not 12-year-old thoughts. I think I want to reread the Lux series also. Like ever since I bought them from Thrift Books, now I'm like dying to reread them and do a vlog because it's so nostalgic. And I specifically remember reading them for the first time. But also, I don't know how they're going to hold up a decade later. You know what I mean? Hello, Rachel. What's going on? How are the shoes that you've mysteriously got sent? Cheers to the death rattles of late capitalism. Mm-hmm. we laugh so we don't cry. Oh, Alien Lux. Okay. This is confusing. I'm very curious also how Alien Lux stands up in 2022 as well. Maybe it's a video. Yeah, dude. Do it. I just know that I'm going to hate the main character now. Yeah, that sucks. And, you know, this used to bother me a lot more, I think, when I was a teenager reading YA, where when I was reading YA as a teenager, it was like strictly to self-insert myself. So if I didn't like the main character, that instantly was a turnoff, and I like therefore hated the book. But now I would like to think that I'm a little bit less self-inserty when it comes to those books. So I don't know. I might be like weirdly okay with some of those annoying main characters now. That would be a fun experiment too. Definitely sounds like a video. It's on the list, but the problem is that the list is very long. And I posted 2 videos in February, so baby steps. You know they're already packed back up in shame. This is the funniest thing that's ever happened to anyone, is that I'm just spilling your drama, Rachel, but Rachel got sent the wrong shoes and they fit her anyway. And I was cracking up at work all day about it. Hi, Em. Hello. You are so cute. Welcome to the party. True. Yes. I can't say, but sending all my support. Thank you. Appreciate you. Hope you have a good night. YA has changed. Yeah. Do it. This just reminded me of what movie is that from? Do it. Do the roar. Do the roar. Anyways, I think it's probably time to sprint. Are we feeling 30 minutes? More? Less? Also, second question, follow-up question. Because I'm going to listen to an audiobook. So while I'm listening, I'm also probably going to play either Hearthstone or Stardew Valley, leaning towards Hearthstone. But would it be weird to stream that for you guys just like for silent ambiance, or would that be confusing? Would you rather just like look at a timer or something? Let me know. Tea spilt. No YA fantasy will ever give me bisexual chaos like Helene Akia. Dude, don't even get me started on Queen Helene, first of all. I love her and I'm obsessed with her. If I ever were to do like actual cosplay and put like real time and effort into it, I would do Helene Akia, because I did her for one of the nights during Read or Scare in October. And I like doing the like Helene braid and like weird silver eyeshadow on my face. Like I felt something, you know. She's maybe like my favorite YA character. I love her, and I hated her in the first book. So that's on Saba Tahir's writing. 30 minutes is perfect. Excellent. Working on a thumbnail and listening to Castles in Their Bones. We love the multitasking. Ooh, stream. Do it. Do the roar. Okay, cool. Cool. I got to go. Bye. I love you. Have fun sprinting. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for the enthusiasm. Love to see it. Okay, so here's what we're going to do is we're just going to learn how this goes together. I'm firing up Hearthstone right now, and it'll just be here for you to watch, but I'm going to mute. So it's just going to be like something colorful to watch in the background probably. But yeah, and then I think I'm also going to listen to, my brain just like wiped, the music one. Utopia Avenue is what I'm going to listen to. Beautiful. So let me share my screen. Look at that. All right. And set a timer. Let's just go to the 30. So like an even 26 minutes. Nice. Okay, I'll see you in 26 minutes. And enjoy whatever happens. Or, do your own thing. Okay, love you, bye. Hello. It's that time, but I still have hopefully a few turns left in this game. So you can just we can actually talk about what's going on. Unless you are all very familiar with Hearthstone, which would be wonderful. Specifically Battlegrounds. This is a game that Wes put me onto, I don't know, a while ago. And I really had the itch. And also a lot of chaos just happened in my book. So there's a lot going on. How did everyone's reading go? Or I don't know, some of you are like making thumbnails or doing other things. Oh, that's really good. I have not played this hero in a very long time, and I usually don't win with this hero, so that's fun. We're doing all kinds of weird things today. Who do we have? Now we're about to be triple tasking here. Oh, let me take the banner off. Catherine came in like right as we started reading. This does not look like reading, but I'm here for it. I mean, I was listening to my audiobook, and also I haven't read that audiobook in like, I don't know, at least a month. And I'm almost halfway through, so I was like trying to remember what was going on and also not die in Hearthstone. So it's been it's a fun 20 minutes for me. Oh, this might be where I die. Not quite. Almost to the end of Comfort Me with Apples. It definitely took a twisty turn. I've heard that it does that, so I'm glad that it's delivering for you. Okay, this is Cookie the Cook might be about to put me in my place right now. Are you laughing at me?
Yes.
I'm living my gamer girl dream, okay?
Gamer girl, yeah.
Why do I suddenly feel like I'm on Twitch? I also kind of feel that way. It just kind of happened accidentally, but we're just going along with it. Multitasking to its finest. I don't want this. That might have been a mistake. Oops, I should have played that like, oh well. Well, I'm kind of falling apart here, but that's okay. We also, I can't believe how close to the sun you're girl bossing with this. Your brain is huge. This is the future of gamer girls everywhere. I don't know if I would go that far, but thank you. Girl bossing very close to the sun. Well, 52% chance that I die here, so girl bossing straight to third place is what looks like the most likely outcome. Catherine hopped in here. We also have Christina Lowe about to go to bed. Love you. Good night. Sweet dreams. We playing games for, oh my god, actually I won that. Very unlikely. Okay, we're still in it. We're still in it. Also, Sammy's here. Hello. Now watch this drive. Do you know that meme? I'm just stealing my boyfriend's entire personality right now. Oh god, okay.
They pay me royalties.
Pay you royalties?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know about that. We'll see. This is your intellectual property. I just stole it.
Getting Zuckerberg?
Getting Zuckerberg, he says. Okay, this is where it all comes together. I don't need this. Oh boy. You're doing great, sweetie. Thank you so much. Yeah, let's do that. We'll see. This is top 2 showdown. Everyone cross your fingers. Send the good vibes. He just destroyed that ghost the turn before, so not holding my breath. Hitting the midway point of dead silence and shit. Is that good, or is that surprising, or confused by this reaction? Oh, is starting to ramp up. Nice. I read up on Eat a Peach. Should I watch the Netflix show first? I don't know. I think, what did we watch? 2 episodes? I think we watched 2 episodes of Ugly Delicious.
Yes.
And I have a quick pause to appreciate this first place that we just girl bossed into. That was very nice. I'm glad you got to witness that. I never win with that hero. Okay, back to me. Yeah, that was our little girl boss Twitch detour. I don't know. I haven't read Eat a Peach. I have only watched a couple of the episodes of Ugly Delicious, but I've seen him in other places on like cooking show world. Specifically in the chef show we've also binged recently. So I'm sure it's like cohesive either way, but whatever, you know. I just love like reading about people in like the food industry. I have no idea who the author is. Yeah. I mean, maybe watch like an episode of Ugly Delicious just to get like put a face to the name, you know? But I don't know how important it really is. Probably like his memoir will be like, this is who I am. You know? You're doing great. Thank you. Thank you. We did so great, actually. That's actually crazy that just happened to me. I literally picked that hero at the beginning where you can pick like 4 different ones. I picked him because I was like, well, this will be a quick game because I never win with Rafam. Which is maybe the attitude I need to have more often. That rarely happens. I don't know how this game is played, but you're doing great. Thank you so much. That's how I felt for the longest time before Wes actually taught me how to play. I literally have no idea what is happening in the game. I 100% understand. I used to be like, oh, it's so colorful. It looks fun. What's going on? Everything is moving so fast. Lots of stuff whizzing around. Yes. And you're not wrong. That's pretty much the game. Mesmerizing. I am just happy to like watch people play video games. This game or otherwise. It's like strangely comforting, which the meme of that is like youngest siblings like enjoy watching people play video games, but I'm the oldest. But I am the oldest of 3 and both my siblings are like brothers. So I would just watch my brothers like play video games and it was a good time. I still like it. I just finished Hook, Line, and Sinker and I hated it. This is not the reaction that I thought you were going to say. I will be doing a rant review video on this book, LOL. Can't wait. I have not heard of anyone hating it, so I'm very intrigued. Did you like, what was the first one that I also haven't read? It Happened One Summer. Did you also hate that one? Or was this a twist? Mesmerizing, yes. Uh-oh, I'm almost done with Line and Sinker, and I like it so much more than the first book. I wonder if this is the gonna be like the beach read, people we meet on vacation dichotomy, you know, where You either love one and hate the other, or vice versa. I will be in the minority with my opinion. Wow. Like, what do you hate about it in vague terms? Please let the peanut gallery know. I will definitely like it too. I love watching people play video games. Me too. I gave It Happened One Summer 5 stars. Wow, this has piqued my curiosity. I'm so nosy. I love knowing like the drama. Like why do you not like things, you know? Books or like in general. My guy just needs therapy, you know? Valid. Wait, this is my favorite description. It's like Magic the Gathering on meth, LOL. A little bit, because it's like a card game, but electronically, right? Isn't it Magic the Gathering on meth is how Battlegrounds was described.
It's like a lot of similarities. In the same lineage.
Don't we all need therapy? He definitely needs therapy, but I still love him. Catherine, this makes me think that you need more therapy because you can't fix him. But maybe, maybe fictional men, like sure. Magic. Fun story. One time in college, my first year of college, when I was in the dorms, I went on this date with this guy across the hall, and I felt really cool because he was older than me. He was like a third year. It was like my first month of college, and it was my birthday weekend in September. So he asked me out on my birthday weekend, and he's like, okay, he literally said something like, I'll pick you up at 8 or something, which was funny because we literally lived across the hall from each other. And it also was the night, I promise this is going somewhere. It was also the night of the like big concert, like once a semester on campus, the school would like bring a concert to campus. And so of course, logically, big concert on her birthday that I asked her out on, surely like we're gonna go to the concert. So I wear clothing appropriate for like a college concert, and he picks me up and he's like, so I think there's some like hiking trails I've been wanting to check out. And I thought he was joking, and in retrospect, this is one of those stories that like is funny now, but could easily, like, this is the beginning of like a Dateline episode, you know? And then we proceeded to walk away from campus. It's dark, and also I went to school in the middle of nowhere in Missouri, and we like explored hiking trails in the darkness, and I can just hear like the concert happening far away on campus, and I'm wearing like cute earrings and like not hiking boots, and have the flashlights on our phones as we're just hiking. And after we hike, we get back to the dorms, and all I want to do is go to bed and like never speak to him ever again. And instead what he says is, I would love to teach you Magic the Gathering. And I don't know why I said yes, because it was like 2 a.m. And then he taught me how to play Magic the Gathering in our dorm room common lounge. And that was the conclusion of the most whack ass date that maybe I've ever been on. I don't know if that one takes the top spot, but that was top 3 for sure. That was a ridiculous one. Well, I don't need to be called out. I could fix him. You're right. You could write fan fiction and fix your fictional man. I have such a hard time getting into contemporary romance, at least with historical romance. Any sort of problematic stuff can be chalked up to the times. Yeah. I relate to this a lot. I just hadn't put it together like that, but you just cracked something open in my brain. That's so true. Dateline. I know. I know. Jesus, you could have been forced murdered. I know. I don't know what possessed me to just be like, yeah, let's go hiking. I was not happy about it. Like, I think I thought that it wasn't going to be actually hiking in the, I don't know what I thought. It was very bizarre. And then I was bitter about not being at the concert that literally everyone else I knew was at. Wow. That sounds like something I would dream after eating too much chocolate. It did feel a little bit like fever dream-esque. Like the next day I like went to brunch with my roommates where you like, you know, after like a night out, you like go to breakfast and everyone like rehashes their like evening out. That was one of those breakfasts where all of my roommates just quietly sat there holding their cup of coffee and was like, you did what again? Like, what happened again? You let him take you to a dark forest? Not proud. I'm not proud of it. But that is still what I associate with Magic the Gathering. My only Magic the Gathering experience was reading books next to all my friends in high school while they were playing Magic the Gathering. That was much more wholesome and harmless way to associate with that game. Oh God. Yes. Very fever dreamy. And to make up for missing the concert, he taught you Magic the Gathering. Way to make it up to you. Yeah, this is the same man where he did not, in his brain, the date went very well. In his brain, he never explicitly asked me like to be exclusive or anything. In my mind, I was like a non-starter. I'm like, I'm sorry. You took me night hiking and then taught me Magic the Gathering, and I very much did not have a good time. However, he thought we were boyfriend, girlfriend, and everything is great. So I had to have this very awkward conversation with him a few days later. And my little 17, 18-year-old self in college had no idea how to like break it to this person who I lived across the hall from, that we were not on the same level. So what I said to him was, I'm just not feeling it, Mr. Krabs, was me breaking up with him. And then I left his dorm room because in my mind that was clear, but also a meme because I'm an asshole that way. And one of his friends later told me that he had no idea what I was talking about and did not get the reference. And then I felt like even more of an asshole. So that's the full circle wackadoo story on that encounter. I used to play Magic with my friends and it's a fun game, but I've never thought, man, this would make a good activity to do on a date. Exactly. And it wasn't. It's not anything I'd recommend that you do on a first date. I'm sure he did think the date went well. Exactly. He's like, we did all my favorite things. Awesome. She must be the one. This is so funny. Dude, I have way too many crazy stories along similar lines. I swear to God I did. I in the like serious moment where you're having that talk about your feelings. I specifically remember we were like in his dorm room and he was sitting in like his like desk under his lofted bed and I was across the room and I just was like, I'm just not feeling it, Mr. Krabs. Oh my God, I said that. Okay, bye. That was it. You're welcome. This has been your Wednesday night entertainment. Oh God. Yeah, that was a good one. Still bitter about the concert. The concert was Mr. Wives and something similar to Mr. Wives that I could have seen for like $5. $0 because I had anticipated that he would just like buy my student ticket. And that's why we don't assume things, boys and girls. A lot of lessons I learned that weekend. First lesson, don't go night hiking with strange boys that live across the hall from you. Wouldn't make that mistake again. Anyways, that was a little bit of a detour. How is everyone's reading going? We kind of started talking about that, and then we started talking about other wild things. I read a little bit more of the audiobook. I keep forgetting what it's called. Utopia Avenue. And I'm approaching the like 50% mark, which is fun in audiobooks because there's like a certain formula to fiction writing, right? And the 50% mark, like some crazy shit usually happens. And we are approaching like the crazy shit, absolutely. So it was weird to like be absorbing that and also like playing a video game and also watching the chat. Like a lot of things was happening at once, which was fun. But I am getting back into it after I remembered the first 10 hours of a book I read a month ago. So it's slowly coming together. Using memes as breakup lines is pretty college of you. Yeah. Like why did I think that was like a cool move to rather than just saying like, I just don't think this is going to work. We seem to be on like completely different levels. That would have been very clear and reasonable instead of saying, I'm not feeling it, Mr. Krabs, but here we are. My reading was shit. JK, that's dramatic. I'm now reading the fine print and it's cute. Oh, the fine print. Okay. Also in the middle of Queen of Air and Darkness. What is Queen of Air and Darkness? I'm going to finish Comfort Me for Apples and then switch over to A Year in Provence by Peter Mayle, which is a super wholesome memoir about an English couple moving to France. Love it. Just like a famous English couple or just like a normal everyday English couple? Hitting the halfway point in my sci-fi horror novel is definitely leading into some stuff happening. Yeah, that's usually where stuff starts to ramp up. Also, this dog is being the most needy right now in between like both of us. Yeah. She's assumed the position. Okay, it was like ringing a very old bell in my brain. A Shadowhunter book. I think I read the first few Shadowhunter books, like City of Bones. Maybe the first like original trilogy I read in like middle school and then kind of fell off. And now I feel like there's too many and I don't have the nostalgia from reading them like when I was younger. Oh no, I could be convinced. I'm pretty sure that I could be convinced. But that would be a commitment. Normal people in the 1980s. It's pretty funny too. You're speaking my language. I like reading about normal people changing up their lives and moving to France. I might have to switch books. This is ramping up tension before bed and it won't help my insomnia. Oh my God. I hear you. That's when I like to read like something very low key or even like nonfiction or something before bed. Otherwise, I'll just spiral. I read it because it feels nostalgic. Man, I definitely have like books and series like that, but it's like a almost like retroactive regret that I wish I would have read those books when I was younger so that I now could cash in on the nostalgia, but it's fine. There's other ways to get the nostalgia, I guess. The main one for me is the Molly Moon series, which I keep thinking like I should ration my rereads of that series because I'm worried that eventually it will lose the magic and nostalgia for me but it hasn't happened yet, so I'm just gonna keep reading it, I guess. Nonfiction will put me straight to sleep. I get that. You might be reading the wrong nonfiction though. But unless you're trying to go straight to sleep, then it's doing exactly its job. I love sci-fi horror. Are you liking Dead Silence? Sci-fi horror is probably not my genre. I'm just not much of a horror person in general. I have a history book I read before bed if I can't fall asleep. That'll do it. It's smart. What, like just like broad history, random history? How do we feel about more sprinting? Do we want to do another 30 minutes? We could go until like the 30-minute mark again. And then I don't have to change my banner. That's very convenient. I think that works for me. You can watch the mesmerizing colors move again. Loving it so far. Oh my gosh. Nice. Proust Muses in High Society France. Okay. Sounds kind of dense. Like interesting, but dense, and would probably make me sleepy too. All right, I'm going to share my screen again. And then mute, and I'll see you at the 30. And we're back. Hello. How did that go for everyone? I, as you may or may not have seen, played another round of Hearthstone. Got second place, which is not too shabby. Just like a little shabby. And I have now read 5% of Utopia Avenue this entire time. So I'm at 46%. And I keep forgetting how long this book is, because the last book I read was Small Country for Found in Translation. And I read that on audiobook too. And that book was 6 hours long in total. So going from a 6-hour audiobook to like a 26-hour audiobook, just the pace and the density of things is giving me some whiplash, even though I'd already started this before. Just thinking like I'm reading it on 2 times speed, and I've read like just over an hour real time, which is like maybe 2 hours and 20 minutes of the audiobook just on these sprints alone. And it feels like so much has happened to only move 5%. You know what I mean? It's like it's a big one, but I'm really liking it. I didn't know what to expect. It's the same author. He has some other book that was nominated for one of the big awards last year, and that's how I recognized his name when I saw Utopia Avenue. But yeah, for some reason, the big, long historical fictions do not intimidate me nearly as much as the big, long, like fantasy tomes. 26-hour historical fiction, no problem. 26-hour, like Brandon Sanderson. Don't know her. That for some reason that's so scary to me. Steph is here. Hi, Steph. Hello. How are you? What are you reading? Switched over to a Nekeli book that I'm also struggling with. Hell Followed With Us. Interesting premise, but the gore is unnecessary and gratuitous to the point that I'm skimming. I hate that. I do not like when things like that, like unnecessary and gratuitous, is such a red flag. That just means that the writing is like lacking protein is the word that comes to mind, but like I guess like yeah, like the meat of it. Like if you can't write a good story underneath, then you just keep like falling back onto like those like gory scenes just for like the like sparkle factor. Not my jam. Oh, Cloud Atlas. Okay, yeah. Have not read that one. So I think that's like his newest one is Cloud Atlas, right? But it's making me want to read it because I'm having a good time with the first half of Utopia Avenue. I have another one by him, Bone Clocks or something. I need to finally pick it up. Oh my gosh. What is this backlist? I don't even know what his like specialty is. If it's like vague, like more modern historical fiction. I don't even know what Cloud Atlas is about. I'm just picturing the cover in my mind and it's not giving me any clues. OMG, I finished Comfort Me with Apples. I surprisingly really loved it. I think it'll be a 5-star. It is not too scary for you, and I think you'd really jive with the themes. Okay, this is so helpful. Thank you so much. I'm officially adding to my TBR because I've been really intrigued, but like afraid of it being too scary. So perfect. Hopefully, yeah, I'm like very excited about this because I know that I don't think you just like hand out 5 stars, you know, so that's really cool. And I'm glad that you like finished it during sprints. That's perfect. It's missing and filling with unnecessary body horror for shock points. Ugh, that's not the greatest. Glad you like Comfort Me with Apples. Adding to my TBR. Yeah, same. That's very exciting. Oh my gosh. I don't really know what he falls under fully because Cloud Atlas leans more fantastical, and I think Bone Clocks has some sci-fi but also literary. Okay, we love a genre bender. Hang on, let me look up Cloud Atlas. Cloud Atlas book. Cloud Atlas is a work combining metafiction, historical fiction, and contemporary fiction and science fiction. First of all, what is metafiction? Wait. Okay, well now we're just gonna do a little Wikipedia deep dive. Because look, interconnected, nested stories that take the reader from the remote South Pacific in the 19th century to the island of Hawaii in a distant post-apocalyptic future. How do people come up with these things? How was Cloud Atlas? Cloud Atlas is amazing. I loved it when I read it. Super well written and mind-bendy. This is definitely giving me mind-bendy vibes. I'm also metafiction is a form of fiction which emphasizes its own constructedness in a way that continually reminds the audience to be aware they are reading or viewing a fictional work. Did we just discover my new favorite genre? Metafiction is self-conscious about language, literary form, and storytelling. All right, well now we're deep diving. Why did no one tell me this existed? I feel personally betrayed by every single one of you on book 2. You just described how I feel about the writing in the books that are heavy smut. Oh, smut can be gratuitous too. I like the book without it. Oh, like books without it would be so weak and no one would be talking about it if the main character wasn't getting her cheeks clapped every other page. You know, like some people are into that and I don't want to gatekeep. Like if that's what you want to read, then like that's fantastic and valid. However, it can also be used as a crutch. Like I get what you're saying. There's a movie with Tom Hanks and Halle Berry. Wait, there's already? Are you talking about Cloud Atlas? There's a Cloud Atlas movie? What rock have I been living under? Cloud Atlas movie. No way. A 2012? Okay, why did I think that Cloud Atlas was a recent release? Wait. Cloud Atlas film. We are learning things together. Well, that didn't work. Let's see. It's like that. Exactly. Cheeks clapped. I know. Cloud. Okay, you're right. Yes, thank you. I was thinking of Cloud Cuckoo Land because that's probably the cover I'm thinking of. Like, let's see. Yes. This is why I keep you guys around. This is the cover that I was thinking of. Why are you doing this to me? Thank you. So helpful. Not this cover, Google. Where am I? Anyways. Yes. Cloud Cuckoo Land. Which is also really long, right? All these long books I want to get to, which is very bold of me, having read probably like 300 pages in the entire month of February. Cloud Atlas is so old. You're right. I 100% was thinking of, yes, Cloud Cuckoo Land. Which, what is that about? This is another rabbit hole that we're all just going down together. I think Utopia Avenue is the most recent of his books. Oh. Thank you. Okay, perfect. Excellent. So the things I need to know. Definitely not trying to shame anyone who likes it. I'm just saying, don't pretend it's this grand epic story. Yeah, there's definitely a difference between like sweeping grand odysseys and also like smut, for sure. I read Cloud Cuckoo Land as a digital arc on my Kindle with no page numbers to orient myself. And I was so shook when I saw how large the physical book is. Yeah, that is disorienting. Like when I read things on my Kindle, like I read the entire ACOTAR series on my Kindle and I don't know if I would have been able to get through them otherwise, not to be dramatic, but just because it was like, oh, well, just like there, you have no context of like how much is left or how big it actually is, which in that case was helpful for like really long books. Oh, that's a journey. Yeah, exactly. I try and read big books on my Kindle so I don't have to think about the size. I think that's a new underrated hack I'm going to start doing with my reading more often, because I know that big books intimidate me. And audiobooks too. Like I've already mentioned, like, oh, this book is 26 hours long or whatever, where for some reason that does not compute when it comes to ebooks. I'm still over here on like metafiction. I'm really gonna have to read up on that later because I'm very very intrigued that that's not a thing I knew about before. I love the satisfaction of the bookmark moving through the big book. I equally find satisfaction in when you close a big book, because I dog ear my pages, and you could see in like a big book like all of the places you've dog eared, which aka like how many sittings it took you to read that book and like how many pages you read, which I know some people don't like to, leave any trace of the book being read, and I respect that. However, I don't mind dog earing my books. I find it like kind of satisfying because when you finish it, you're like, oh yeah, this took me like 4 sittings and I read the last 100 pages in one go. It's a whole strategy. Priory, here I come. Yes, especially because those big gigantic books are like uncomfortable to hold, and I feel like reading it on ebook, like you don't even have to even think about that. Yes, Priory. Yeah, this one is really, really high on my list. Stephanie, bury the lead. You're about to start Cultish? Text me every single thought that you have. I'm dying to reread it. I just have to get my copy back from my friend that I like loaned it out to. I have a problem with the 26-hour audiobooks. Every time I see it, I'm like, that's so much time. But then I read 800-page books, no problem. Weird reading mind games. Yeah, exactly. I know that I read faster via audiobook. For some reason, I get a lot less distracted when I'm reading audiobooks because it takes more effort for me to like stop reading the audiobook than it is for me to stop reading a physical book, which doesn't necessarily like seem intuitive. That seems kind of counterintuitive. But like I know to stop reading the audiobook, I have to pick up my phone and open the app and press pause, which is like a few more steps than just simply like looking away from the page and like getting distracted. So I read faster and I stay more focused with audiobooks. So I'm more comfortable reading longer books in that format, I guess. Plus, then I don't have to like hold a brick in my hands, which I prefer hardcovers. Don't know why. I do know why. It's because when you close them, the cover fully closes. Whereas with a paperback book, once you open that paperback book, it never actually closes again. And I don't know why that bothers me so much. So I prefer owning hardcover books, even though I know they're like less comfortable to hold in your hands. I have read Word Slut, and Cultish is high on my priority list. Do you think you'll be doing Linguathon again this year? I'll tell you a secret, since we're friends. But yes, and we just planned it out literally yesterday because we did our live show for Small Country yesterday on Brittany's channel, and afterwards the three of us like talked some details. So yes, it will be happening again. I'm very excited for all of the things that's going to be going on this year that we're like adding to it. I think it's going to be a really fun like community event kind of a deal. I don't even. Okay, almost 10 o'clock my time. And I know we are not all on the West Coast. So what I'm thinking is like one more sprint, like a shorter one, like maybe 20 minutes. How are we feeling? And then I might make myself some popcorn and watch an episode of Ugly Delicious, and that will be my evening. Oh no, the book format debate. Don't get everyone started. You know, I'm not even, I like genuinely like all the formats equally. I don't really have a preference other than I know that audio is easier for me, but I enjoy and consume like all of them frequently all the time. Sounds good. Sounds good. Popcorn is life. I have popcorn for dinner more often than I would like to admit, just because it is life, it is joy, it is everything. Okay, let's do 20 minutes, which would bring us to what, like 10 after? Let's just go to 10 after. I did have to make myself popcorn while reading Dead Silence because it called for popcorn and my hands needed something to do. That's the other thing. Like reading audiobooks, I have no problem like doing something or washing dishes or folding laundry or playing video games. I just need to not have like idle hands. All right, read. All right, see you in 23 minutes. All right, we made it. Welcome back. How did it go? I read more of Utopia Avenue, and also because I have to do something with my hands, I am back on this coloring app on my phone that just gets me every time. I colored a little fish, but yeah, this is oh, I guess I could take this banner off. I've got hopping in to say good morning. I'm Sherry at work now, but okay. Well, I think I am going to go make some popcorn as we discussed. You just need to chomp on popcorn to relieve the anxiety. Yeah, popcorn is such a comfort. I just love movie theater popcorn, buttery popcorn. Go team, great sprints. Thanks for hosting. Thank you. This is the energy that I'd like to end on. Thank you for coming and hanging out and reading, and just getting to catch up with everyone was really fun. Going well. 15 more pages of A Year in Provence. Super wholesome. Love it. Thanks for tonight. Yeah, thank you guys. This is, yeah, like the first time I did like sprints just solo on my own, and it's definitely something I want to do at least monthly, if not more than that. But yeah, next Wednesday I will also be live for Hot Girl Book Club, and the Wednesday after that is the third Wednesday of the month, which is the Wednesday that I'm committing to that, like that third Wednesday being the Reading Sprints Wednesday. So you give me every Wednesday, almost every Wednesday, in March at least. Read 20 pages. Thank you for the sprints. I'm so glad. Like I really needed this too. I got a chunk out of the way of Utopia Avenue, which is good. I feel like back in it again. Hate the way popcorn smells. Wes used to work at a movie theater, and so he still is like, does not have great associations with the way popcorn smells either. So he would agree with you. This was awesome. Would love to have sprints again. Well, yay. Then I will see you 2 Wednesdays from now. I don't know if it'll be the same time or maybe it'll be earlier. I just had something to do in between work and sprints tonight, but I would love to just do like maybe like 6 o'clock PST. I don't know. Don't hold me to that, but that'll be in a couple weeks. And we've got book club and all kinds of other things going on. And hopefully it won't be 3 weeks until I post a normal video again, but we'll see. I have to sit down and film some stuff first. But anyways, thank you for joining me. I love you very much, and I'll see you soon.